Welcome back, everyone. I know it's been a long time. It's been 2.5 years, I think, to be exact. Not totally sure how to go about this comeback, considering, the legendary run we had of a whole 2 YouTube videos. With that being said, I guess a sufficient way is to kind of give a quick Spark Note summary of what has gone on in my life in the last 2 years. I understand that the last YouTube videos were kind of leading into my first show at 18 years old. I never announced, unless you follow me on Instagram, which if you haven't, it'll be right up here. But I did nationally qualify, which is pretty cool. Placed top 2 in my class. It was a smaller show, but nonetheless, still got that national qualification, which was cool. Competed with my best friend Parker, who also nationally qualified. To kind of move on past that, attempted community college. Me and Parker also moved in together, got an apartment, worked for the apartment complex that we stayed at, and that is a whole nother, I could make a whole YouTube video on that alone, just how that whole experience was. Regardless, it was one of the, if not the best year of my life. Just had so much fun. Good, bad, the ugly, phenomenal experience. But decided that college wasn't for me, so I dropped out after completing my freshman year. And then for a time was planning on going into the military, the Air Force. I actually backed out 3 weeks before my shipping date, or before they were gonna send me off to basic training. Still something I regret to this day, but regardless, everything seemed to have worked out. Ended up going through pretty shitty breakup not too long after that, and then went through another situation regarding a woman that also was very shitty not too long after that, which was kind of my own fault, but again, that does not matter. Almost quit bodybuilding, but thankfully I did not. So that kind of carries us into kind of the end of 2024, beginning of 2025. Started working like a construction job. Again, still bodybuilding, kind of doing what I can to go through an off season, despite all the mental crap that I was kind of trying to balance. Decided that I wanted to compete in 2025. Was kind of a big thing for me, especially because I wanted to do classic. I wanted to switch from men's physique to classic, which is a pretty big transition considering I wasn't the largest when I stepped on at 18. I was only 165 pounds on stage, which at 6'1", that's not very large. To be completely honest, the year after my show, the year that Parker and I moved in together, I kind of dicked around. I didn't really follow a meal plan. I still trained pretty much every day. Training was never a problem for me, but obviously nutrition is where the physique is truly built, and that just was a terrible, was not doing that at all. Didn't get fat though, because I just have a wicked fast metabolism, but my weight pretty much, I was around 195, 200 pretty much that entire year. Didn't really make any substantial gains, but kind of going back to 2025, working this job for 6 or 7 months, was going through a bulk, got up to 220 pounds, and then started my prep in July of this year. That was big for me. I missed prep. I missed the grind. Watching the weeks go by, go down, leading up to the show was something that I really missed. And throughout this process, met my wonderful girlfriend, Devin, who also is a competitor herself in the bikini division. I'm gonna try not to ramble on about how wonderful she is, because I could certainly do that for a while. But she is phenomenal, has helped me tremendously throughout my prep and just life in general. But with that being said, started prep in July. And I will say prep kind of kicked me in the balls pretty much all of the 16 weeks that I was on it. I ended up quitting my construction job to work in a factory, in which I would get up at 3 in the morning and work until about 11 to 1 in between there. But the money was fantastic, making more money, which is awesome. But being in prep is already very emotionally, physically, mentally demanding. And then on top of that, being incredibly fatigued and hungry all the time, made working that job, and I still work there now, but incredibly challenging, and was in fear of losing my job because I wasn't meeting expectations, wasn't working at the pace they wanted me to work at. It was rough, man, to be honest with you. But, God is good, and I was able to successfully complete that throughout my prep and managed to not get fired. Definitely a lot easier now since being out of prep. I'll be honest about that. Ended up competing in the Badger State Championships in Wisconsin. Brought an amazing package. Dalton, my coach, absolutely nailed it and took the overall. It was honestly a beautiful experience. Still doesn't even feel real. Got to meet Jay Cutler and David Bay. I'll keep kind of like the conversations to myself. Maybe I'll share what those conversations were, but was very blessed to have pretty good conversations with the both of them. Got my trophy signed by Jay Cutler, which is freaking dope. We'll never lose sight of that trophy. But yeah, it took overall beautiful experience, incredibly grateful, and especially because I was able to share that moment with the people like my family and my team and my girlfriend, and was really beautiful. Makes the challenging 16 weeks worth it. But yeah, that kind of brings me to today, and I'm sure you guys are probably wondering, Lance, what's the plan with the content? Honestly, I don't really have a plan. I don't know what caused me to want to just start making YouTube videos again. To be honest, I think the biggest thing that I've been kind of struggling with is the idea of promoting myself, which is what what content creators do, is being the authentic version of myself, not putting on a facade or pretending to be someone else for the camera. And everyone always says that that's who they are, that's who they want to be, but do you ever really know whether or not they're being truthful? That had me wondering, who even is the most authentic version of Lance? Who even is that? Like, do I even know who that is? I think that was kind of a big thing that kind of held me back from wanting to promote content, specifically content that incorporated more of my personality, more of me communicating with you guys, like specifically. It kind of just deterred me for a while. Even when I, was doing content on Instagram, which I'm getting back into that now that prep is over. It's something that I know is essential when it comes to building a platform. I wouldn't be doing this unless if I enjoyed it. I do enjoy it. I do love, making content, editing it, and, putting my time and effort into something that I'm proud to share with the world. Also, I want to bodybuild for a living, for a career. In order to do that, content is pretty essential. Bodybuilding within itself is not very sustainable. Anyone that competes knows that. No matter what level you're at, it's going to be very expensive, but it's a matter of the type of platform you have, the type of influence you have, and that is kind of what makes the ability to do it as a living possible, right? And so that's kind of where I'm at with that. With that being said, if you made it this far, I just got back from church. It is 12:37 and I am absolutely starving. So I have meal 2, mostly prepped, all in separate containers because I don't have enough room in my family's fridge to meal prep everything. But basically gonna go wrap up this talking piece and we're gonna go throw that together. Gonna go to the gym, hit hamstrings and lower back. Won't lie, my legs are still absolutely fried from hitting them on Thursday, believe it or not. But yeah, gonna go get this training session in. If you guys have made it this far, I appreciate you. I tend to yap a lot, and unfortunately you guys will get to see that. Actually, I'll see how much of this I'll include when I go back and watch this over and I chop it up. I actually might do different versions so I can see which one is better. But yeah, I love you all, and gonna go whip up this meal and go to the gym. So I'll see you soon. Alright guys, that is a wrap on today's workout. I didn't film every single set. I mainly just like the top sets. There were a couple exercises that I didn't quite get, like a couple seated cable rows, did some single arm work to target the lower lat. I didn't get those because I just didn't want to be that guy that sets up the camera on tripod in front of people and like kind of be in the way. Overall, pretty good workout, just really solid. So a little behind schedule. It is 6:42, and unfortunately with the time change that happened a couple days ago, it gets dark as shit really early, and honestly, not a fan. Wish they would get rid of that, but that is not the case, unfortunately. So typically I'd be in bed around 7 or 8, but that is not going to happen today. Got a little carried away editing the first half of this video, so it's okay though, it's fine. We're gonna end the night with some client work and then get some more steps in. I'm at like 7,000-ish steps right now. I gotta get to 12, so I'll probably either do the walking pad and watch a movie or get a little late night walk in. So if you guys have made it this far, appreciate it. I'm gonna go whip up meal number 3. That's my post-training meal, which is some more cream of rice, my absolute favorite thing of all time. If you guys are not on the cream of rice yet, you need to hop on. It is phenomenal. You just got to learn how to make it. Yeah, gonna go do that, and hopefully we'll get in bed at a reasonable time. I will see you all for meal number 3. I feel like I have to stand so far away. Finished up client work and about to eat meal number 4. If you're wondering why I'm standing so far away, it's because I have a prime lens, so it's not wide angled. In order to fit my whole frame in the camera, I have to stand super far away. I am looking at getting a wide lens for vlogs and stuff like that, so I don't have to pull this number. But what we have here basically, which I'll pop it up on the screen, but it's nothing fancy. I'm gonna have this again tonight, so for my last meal. But it's basically just 150 grams of white rice, 180 grams of chicken breast, and then 100 grams of spinach. And then I haven't really been including my salt intake necessarily throughout the meals that I've listed, but basically it's just an 1/8 teaspoon of salt in every single meal for right now. Yeah, I've already edited probably over half of this YouTube video, which is a good thing and a bad thing. It's already 8:45 and I have to be up for work at 3 in the morning. So gonna eat this, gonna go get some steps in, and then I will be back for meal number 5. I'll catch you guys later. All right, steps have been gotten. Chilling now. So this is what we got, which I'll throw this up on the screen as well. Another 150 grams of white rice, 180 grams of chicken, 100 grams of asparagus with a little bit of Melinda's black truffle sauce. And what I like to do actually is combine the black truffle sauce with either the G. Hughes or the Melinda's like sweet chili sauce. Something I discovered during prep, and I absolutely love it. Even now being out of prep, still a phenomenal combination. For those of you that get bored of your meals, honestly, I've found combining sauces to be incredibly helpful. Just something new, something different. I mean, you do have the risk of finding a terrible combination, but honestly, I have yet to discover one. But yeah, that's pretty much a wrap on today's video. If you've made it all the way to the end, I love you very much. And I appreciate you guys watching this video. If you haven't liked or subscribed, would greatly appreciate you doing that. And honestly, if you guys want to comment any ideas, feedback, recommendations on some content you'd like to see, thoughts on the video. Ultimately, I'm just trying to make better content for you guys and just grow as a content creator, not influencer, but some, you know what I'm trying to say. But that's it for this one, and I will catch you guys in the next video. So I'm gonna eat this and go to bed because it's past my bedtime. But catch you guys later.